Are you
Oh,
editing this
shit.
episode,
Yeah, I
BT
do that.
Dubs?
That's fine.
Okay. You know,
Which episode is this?
19.
Real?
19. Yeah, I'm good. I'm waiting for David over here to start. He's got to enter in the file name, and it's a very time-consuming process.
User in your channel started recording.
Much time, much consume.
Much time, much consume. Welcome to the Gadget Inspectors, your home for angry tech talk and a little bit of news. I am your co-host, Mr. Jeff Stevens. Tonight I've got with me Mr. David Feldman. For fuck's sake, David. You're killing me. You're killing me, bro.
I somehow muted my... I was like, no!
That means I'm first. Yes.
Yeah, fuck. Yes, you're goddamn right, Michael.
Wait, I'm the co-host. How the fuck is he first?
Now we're doing away with that, man. We're doing away. You'll see. Just hold on.
Oh, I see how it is.
Yeah. All right. Ready?
No.
Let's go. Oh my god.
Edit you out.
I'm ready.
Forever.
Jesus Christ. All right.
David's got a bit of time since he's last now.
Yep.
Oh, fuck off.
Welcome to the Gadget Inspectors, your home for angry tech talk and a little bit of news. I am your co-host, Mr. Jeff Stevens. Tonight, I've got my other co-host, Mr. David Feldman.
Hello, everybody.
And our other co-host, Mr. Michael Fritz.
What up?
Joining us as
So,
always.
Who's the guest?
We don't have guests anymore unless, you know. Michael's been elevated to co-host status, so
Yes.
We're just hosts.
yeah, we're hosts. We're the hostess with the mostest. As always, we're joined by our lovely producer, Mr. Todd Harden, who is quietly mixing things in the background to make us sound awesome on video and such. So thank you, Todd, for being here as always. If you are not already a subscriber, you can find us on our website at rantymedia.com. Hover over the Listen Now button. You'll find Gadget Inspectors there, as well as our other fine podcasts, Press Start Gaming, and The Real Reporters. We're also on iTunes. You can find us on your favorite podcast network. Please listen to the podcast, review it, let us know how we're doing, what we can do better. And finally, if you have any news stories you'd like us to talk about, you can email our producer, Todd, at rantymedia.com. So, we must do the news. We got some great stuff for you tonight. Intel has some really wickedly fast processors coming out.
Yeah.
Like, well,
ridiculously crazy.
Ridiculously pricey, too.
Yeah, there's that.
Isn't it like $2,000 or $3,000?
Yeah, so it's $2,000 for the highest one.
Yeah. All the cores.
All of the
Too many
cores.
cores.
All of the cores. And they're introducing the i9 processor.
It feels so inadequate.
I do, because like we're all running, we're all running i7 processors. Well, David's not yet.
Yeah, I
I'm
am.
not, are you running Oh yeah, you are. You're running the 3rd generation though, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we're all running i7s, not because we have to, but because we have to. And this makes us.
I mean,
That made a lot of sense.
No, because we all know that we don't really need the full power of the i7. We don't do anything that's so intense that we're doing architectural rendering and shit over here. We just do it because we know it's the best, and it's no longer the best, and that makes me a little sad. You have the i9 processor, which is a little ridiculous.
Yeah, aren't they getting rid of the i3s?
I don't know if that's the case yet. I think that's still.
I think this
I
will
could
be
be
their
wrong.
excuse
The
to get
only
rid of
reason why I'm
Pentium
saying
line.
that is because every single like stock photo and everything else, like all the photographs and stuff like that, all the lineups, you don't see i3, you just see i5, i7, i9.
Well, because i3 is probably going to drop out of the flagship line. And
That's what I'm thinking.
Become the equivalent of the Pentium, and the Pentium will fade into obscurity.
Which I
Right.
think
Which is
needs to
about
happen.
time.
Well, that's what happened with the Celeron, so I mean, it only makes sense that this is going to happen.
Oh, M3 is going to be the replacement, according to Todd.
So mobile 3, is that what the M stands for?
It's not necessarily. Yes, it is mobile, but Yeah, it's basically their more like energy efficient chip that's still powerful enough to do shit.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
according apparently it's Ultrabook.
yeah, for the ultrabooks and stuff like that, it makes sense. It completely made sense because it's not super. It doesn't run super hot like some of them. Like I guarantee you that i9 is going to be like a heat generator. Um,
But
I
18
mean,
cores, dude, on this new one.
well,
18
especially
cores.
if you stress test that sucker. Oh man, I can't imagine what kind of
The
torching
output
temperatures that hits.
So they're claiming that it's going to be 10% faster multi-threaded and about 15% single-threaded on these new processors over the predecessors. Uh dude, I don't know. That's just insane, you know.
What are the power requirements? Because
You know what? I haven't really delved too much into the actual technical specs, but I imagine you're going to need a fairly beefy power supply.
so like what a 50 is a 5500 watt.
I would say so. I mean, and
Yeah.
Probably
the
a
only
minimum
reason
of 500.
the only
So-
reason why is because if you're gonna invest that much money into it, you're gonna want to at least pop in a good graphics card, a good motherboard, lots of memory. Like you want to be able to fucking push this system
Yep.
to its potential.
Oh, says the
And,
guy
you
who
know,
never overclocks.
$150 motherboard and 4 gigs of memory is not going to do it justice.
Right.
No, I agree.
So-
I agree.
Like, why would you go i9 if you're not going to put in a $500-600 motherboard and 32, 64 gigs of memory?
What's really interesting is there a lot of people are talking about motherboards, and a lot of people are saying you don't necessarily need to spend the $600 on a motherboard anymore. You can spend the 300 with the same chipsets. The only thing you're missing is some of the cooler incentives, like
and about 12 USB ports.
well, yeah, right, okay.
Some of those big ones
I
have a
never
lot of
use
USB
all
ports.
three. I don't even use all the USB ports I have now.
I don't either.
But anyway, I mean, I don't even need much more than 6, maybe. But that's besides the point. What I was trying to get at was a lot of the the gamer aspect things that you're gonna find on some of the more expensive motherboards, or are gonna be really just more towards overclocking and more towards
God.
some of the cooler aspects, like dual channel Ethernet and stuff like that.
Dude, so I'm looking at the motherboards right now. These are fucking insane. They
I'm
have-
guaranteeing you their flagship boards are not going to be super cheap.
No, they're not. But so they can support up to 24 PCI Express lanes
Damn.
versus the 8.
24?
Yeah, 24. They can support up to. Now, I'm not saying that these motherboards have 24. I'm just saying that the chipset is capable. I'm sorry. Apparently, 44 is the top. Jesus Christ. I'm looking at the memory slots, though. There's 8 memory slots on these suckers.
All right, so
I had 8 memory slots with my last motherboard.
open challenge to those wonderful tech video sites that run on YouTube. I want to see an i9 processor with just go super ridiculous. I want to
Go
see the
balls
i9.
deep.
Oh, they
I
will.
want I want a quad TI. No, that's not even TI anymore. Which one is it? The 1080 Ti? Yeah, that's the
1080
fastest one.
No. The Titan XP is the fastest.
Yeah,
Is it the
I was gonna
XP?
say they have a new.
It's
Titan.
the XP.
Yeah, I know the new
So-
Titan. I didn't know if the 1080 Ti outdid the Titan.
Nope.
I hope
Titans.
not. It shouldn't. Oh no, I know it did at one point. You're right. Never mind. So let's get
So you want
4 of those puppies.
You want 4 of those? Okay.
I want quad channel. I want all the memory.
Apparently, Titan XP
So,
can do 8K.
What do you think the max on
fucking
the
hope
memory
so.
is? 128 or 256?
I'm gonna
Jeez.
go with 256 at this point. I mean, if you got 8 sticks,
I don't know that you can hit 128 yet with 8 slots.
Yeah, I think-
no,
yeah,
that's
you
six, that's
can.
good. That's sticks of 16. Shit, you can get sticks of 32 now, can't you?
Yeah, you can.
Damn.
Oh shit, that means you can hit half a terabyte of memory.
Yeah.
No, you know what? No, screw that. I want a terabyte of memory. It's a nice even amount. On
Give
a
me
fucking
all the
terabyte.
RAM.
Oh my god.
I want to run
You
my
know-
OS on my RAM.
I mean, we're talking
This is
4
so
Titan
funny.
XPs.
This is so funny because we're talking as if we have so much money to throw around. But
No,
No,
I
we're
didn't
not
say
doing
I was
this.
gonna. I said I need one of those big tech reviewer guys to build one of these suckers.
This episode is sponsored by Patreon, where you can give us money to buy these parts.
Yes, please do.
rantingmedia.com/support. Just
don't send the money to the guy who doesn't overclock. Send it to the guy who does.
send it to the guy who is going to be responsible. Blah,
Why
blah.
don't you send it to Todd because he's the producer?
Yeah,
Fair
Todd,
enough.
He'll
that's
decide
Todd,
who gets what.
Todd is the producer as well as our treasurer for that account. He was the one who set it up, so I feel like that's that's not that bad. That's not a bad of an idea, but goddamn.
Okay, you need to move on to the ugliest plane I've ever seen in my entire life.
I mean, it's not all about looks, dude. It's not all about
Yeah,
looks.
it is. It's always about looks. What's the
No,
point
it's
if
not.
it doesn't look good?
No, all right.
They
so
have to get it down and flying before they.
It looks
go
like
to
a
looks.
Wright brothers plane, for Frank's sake.
No,
And
it
where do
does
you think we
not.
started?
Jesus Christ.
Uh,
So this is the world's largest plane. It was, announced by Strato Launch,
World's largest aircraft.
I'm sorry, yeah, world's largest aircraft. Who's basically a company created by Paul Allen, co-founder of Microsoft. We're supposed to have some test flights of this in 2016, but apparently they're just now getting this off the ground. This thing is huge.
That was good.
Yeah, I know. Thanks. It's got a payload capacity of 500,000 pounds, and it has 6 Boeing 747 engines.
That's a lot of freedom.
Wow, that's just Jesus.
It may be operational by the end of this decade.
It's got a functional range of about 2,000 nautical miles. So
The
Pretty
only
fucking
reason
crazy.
why it's not off the ground yet is because they don't the second okay, so if you look at a picture of this thing, there's 2 fuselages. There's only one pilot cockpit. The entire other fuselage, despite what it may look like, is just for fuel.
I mean, hey, but how?
Oh God, could you imagine if that was like say they make an airliner out of that? You can get you can pay for a cockpit seat for the other
Oh my
cockpit.
God, that'd be
that'd be
glorious.
terrifying. What do you
What do you mean terrifying? That would be so much fun.
What the fuck do you think is holding this thing? Like, I don't care how well put together this thing is. I just feel like it's mightily unstable in the middle.
you do realize it's just like glue and steel.
That's what I'm like worried about. Like,
What you don't know is
fucker
this-
gets
Oh,
up
actually,
in the
actually
air.
built this
Actually,
yet?
if I remember correctly, aircraft carriers are made from like an aluminum outer body reinforced by glass.
Yep,
Yeah, but that's an aircraft carrier, yo.
because it has to float.
No,
Oh.
like because it helps create, like impacts and all that fun stuff.
You know,
So yeah,
Okay, so what you're saying though is that this thing is held together by Gorilla Glue.
basically, yeah.
Fuck
right? It's all
that.
fine that it's held together by Gorilla Glue because it's probably not actually built. We're just looking at like a tilt shifted photo that makes it look like it's an actual plane, and it's actually just like this little 3-inch model.
No. I don't understand. This is, rich people and their fucking crazy ideas.
I'm telling you, this looks like a Wright brothers freaking airplane.
I feel like he could have taken all this money and then, like, you know what, say, hey, Intel, just start giving out fucking i9 processors to everybody. Start giving out those new fancy motherboards to everybody. I'll cover it. No worries. I'm just saying.
I don't even see the point of this plane. I really don't. This is not
No,
only does
it's
it just looks ugly.
It's just a rich dude flaunting his money, dude. Like, it's just that's
Is
Howard
this some
Hughes.
sort of like weird wider version of a limousine, but for airplanes?
I guess. I mean, but Howard Hughes, his last project was like a giant ass plane that I think made it off the ground for very little time, 30 seconds, maybe a minute, and then like it never flew again. So I don't know. People just want to build bigger and better. If he was from Texas, I would not be surprised.
I would.
I'm just wouldn't be
I'm just
surprised.
saying. I don't think a Texan would appreciate this.
I'm surprised it doesn't have a Texas flag painted on it. It would look better at that point, wouldn't you agree?
He was born in Seattle, Washington.
I know.
Dude, he's Texas, like at heart. They're gonna be like,
He doesn't look
we're
Texas.
gonna induct this plane into Texas.
Nah, he looks like a Washingtonian.
Damn Washingtonians.
He looks like he hasn't seen the sun but 3 days a year.
Speaking of people that probably haven't seen the sun for more than a year, is the developer of a new phone on the market. From Andy Rubin, co-creator of Android. Have you guys seen this yet, by the way?
Yes.
This looks
So
amazing.
freaking pretty.
So the essential
What?
phone.
David thinks an Android phone is pretty.
Dude,
Yeah,
this
we're gonna
one is
let
made.
that.
I'm sorry, but they have out-appled Apple with this phone. This phone is fucking gorgeous.
This is on the record, guys, that Apple or David is, freaking out. Okay, hold up. I want to record this for posterity.
That's fine. You can record all you want. This bitch is made from titanium.
I guess it's not
ceramic.
technically an Android.
Yeah, it
Is
is.
it not? How is it not? I thought it was an Android.
It's an Android
What makes you think it's not?
I think you're thinking of the speaker, Michael. Is that what you're talking about? Like the ambient OS or whatever the fuck it's called?
No, I've just not seen anywhere where it's confirmed that it's running Android.
First,
let's see.
it's in the article, bro. It says first
it?
the Android phone.
Yeah,
basics.
System Architecture OS Android.
The status bar at the top of Android. Yeah, it's Android.
All right, I missed that line.
Totally.
it's under
Even
specs.
better. Even
All right.
better.
This thing weighs less than 200 grams.
A lot of
Yeah,
pot.
it's also ridiculously expensive. I think
Is
it's
it, though?
expensive.
Is it
$700.
$1,000?
Now they're saying top of the line specs, so there may be a lower end one that's only 500 or
But
400.
I don't think they would release one like
No.
that though, because
No.
I mean, then you kind of ruin the neatness that is this phone.
But what
That's
you're
the
saying
base
is
price.
Then you don't have to. No, it's not. It says cost $699 with top of the line specs and features.
$699?
When they're saying top of the specs, lines, and features, that's like they're saying like that's what's the best of the best on the market right now. That is the base price of this phone. I'm looking at it on the website right now.
Yeah, it's $699. This is okay. So this thing is ridiculous.
It's all
It's
right.
a quad HD? No.
I mean, it's got 128 gigs of storage.
Well, it's a 2K HD screen, 19 by 10 aspect ratio, 500 nits of brightness, not crazy. So it's pretty average.
Who cares about the nits of the screen?
You know what? When you're in the middle of the night and you're too lazy to figure out where the flashlight app is,
I just no. I just want to posit this to you real quick.
okay.
Do you measure shit in nits? Because I don't measure shit in nits. I'm just like, damn, this phone screen is bright. Or damn, this is a good screen. I don't. Oh my god.
I mean,
Tech spec junkie. I know you. I know who you are. Reading all the specs.
and your point?
The nits is okay. It's just okay.
It is. It's not like amazing. It's not like holy shit bright where you can like sit there and you stare at it in the middle of the night and you look like in the sun or something.
I don't even know what nits I have on my phone is, so I'm just throwing that out there.
Probably around 500 actually. It's pretty average.
So,
anyways,
microphone.
Octa-core.
Yeah. It's got a good process. It's got a lot of good stuff in it.
It's
like,
the
I'm not
Snapdragon 835, which is probably one of the best, or at least better, Android phones available, or Android CPUs available for United States.
I mean, I'm going to agree with Todd. Todd made a point that 4 gigs is a little low. I think so. I would think it's at least be 6 at
for
this
the RAM.
point. But okay, let's talk about the nitty gritty of this phone. It's made out of titanium and ceramic, which is
Amazing.
badass.
And the Corning's Gorilla Glass 5, which is like the newest generation,
which
basically shatterproof.
So I do want
Jeff
to
will
throw
still
this
break
out
it.
here.
I'll find a way.
Just because the glass doesn't break does not mean that the screen below it won't break. Because
Right.
I've not shattered the top layer. I've shattered the below layer, and it is a bitch. I fucking tell you, because you're literally looking at your screen. You're like, this screen is flawless. Why isn't it? Oh, and you just see black streaks. And it's bad. So just don't. I'm just saying. But that being said, the fact that it's titanium and has a ceramic back, it's gonna absorb a lot of shock before
Yeah, it's gonna take a lot of damage.
Like
It
this
could
is
take a lot of. Yeah.
It's not bulletproof. It doesn't have the Kevlar back like those good old Motorola phones for.
Oh Lord.
the droid Turbo with the Kevlar back.
Yeah.
The amount of people are like, is that bulletproof? No, you fuckers, it's not bulletproof. The camera, 13 megapixels. I really dig the phone. I'm not gonna lie. It's gorgeous.
It's a pretty sick phone.
It's gorgeous. It's got some not really that interesting colors, I'm not gonna admit. If I were to pick a color, I'd probably pick the blue one, the Ocean Depths, even though it's a little dark for my taste.
I mean green?
Yeah, it's like a really
It's like a greenish blue.
I'm not gonna get into this whole.
I don't know. I
like
like
the
the
green and
stellar
gold.
gray. I like the stellar gray.
I
I
like
don't
the
know.
black one, but it looks,
The black moon, yeah.
It
it's
looks like a glossy finish, and I'm so tired of glossy phones.
Oh,
I'm afraid of fingerprints.
I don't like the bronze on the side.
You don't like the bronze?
No, that
It
looks
looks like either that or copper. I can't quite tell.
that looks really kitschy to me.
And which one? The green one?
Yeah.
I don't like that.
It looks like gold to me, but I could be wrong.
No, that's
No.
definitely not gold. It's like a bronze or copper.
So the big thing just reading some of the comments I've heard about this phone, the biggest complaint I've seen so far is the fact that there's not very much bezel, which is great, but they're complaining about the front facing camera and how that like sticks out on the front of the phone.
It
It's
does
like a
look
sore
a
spot.
little weird.
I don't think so. And the only reason why is like, where the fuck are they going to put it if you don't have it there?
Well,
Yeah.
You could have it at the bottom, but that's not natural. You know
you
what I
could
mean?
also have it behind the screen.
I don't think we're there yet, David.
Can you?
Yeah, yeah.
We
there's-
don't have that technology yet.
Where is there a
wait
phone
for
that
it.
has that? Because I've never seen it.
Well, as far as I'm aware of, not yet. Although the iPhone 8 is rumored to have it, or the edition anyway. The iPhone edition. That's one of the biggest rumors.
I'm just gonna throw that.
I said, and I'm not
statement
debating that. I'm
aside.
saying
No,
I
I'm
don't
just-
think it's going to happen. I
No,
don't
no,
because that's just a
I got
lot.
you. I got you. But I'm gonna throw that statement aside, and we'll wait until all that is released, because this is the now. And
No, I agree, and it's
Well-
the best solution for what you have at the moment, and I do agree. It's definitely just like really really obvious that there's a camera right there. The plus side is it's where all the task ready, basic information is going to be that doesn't move anyway. So you still optimize a lot of constant screen usage in the other area.
Also,
So-
if you
Go ahead, Michael.
get the right ROM on there, everything would be organized around that.
Right. Which
So
is what I'm
it-
saying right now. It looks like to me from the spec pictures you see on the website, all the notifications and basic status icons and stuff like that are going to be on the top row. And if it on the actual pictures themselves, you can see a clear division between the main screen and that top little area where the camera rests. And to me, that tells me that top area is going to kind of stay the same for all the statuses and stuff like that, and the rest of the phone is going to be dedicated to interface.
So I do want to point out that they actually do have a modular device port, so to speak, on the back. It's 2 magnets that sit on the back of the phone. You can purchase a 360 camera add-on, for instance. That's like their very
Ooh.
first thingamajigger.
And what about that docking station that they offer?
Docking
that's
station's
cool.
cool. The
I like
360
that.
camera, though, I do want to point out, if you pre-order this phone, you get it for $50, which is a steal compared to the $200 that you had to pay otherwise.
Okay, if you like.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Like, 360 cameras are pretty fucking cool. Like, I'm just saying.
What do
It's
you use
not-
it for?
When you
Besides the 360.
Snapchat your dinner. Look at all my dinners.
Look at all these other people in the restaurant. Wow, I ate my dinner.
No, I would argue that would be really great for a vlogger because
Yeah, it would have great uses for specific people.
sure, but I'm just saying it's
But
kind
normal
of a cool
people
thing.
It's cool.
who
I just don't see
need
the
that.
use for mass
Us
production.
simpletons comparatively.
I wouldn't
I don't see
say
a use for
simple
me.
thing.
I mean, to each his own. Would I buy
Yeah,
it for
absolutely.
$50? Yeah, I'd buy it for $50.
Jeff would waste $50.
Right?
I wouldn't waste
He'll use
it.
it twice and it never gets touched to see the light of day again.
God, if I get this phone, I'm gonna buy it just to spite all of you.
And you'll use it twice.
Maybe
I will
3
keep
times.
a
Maybe
counter.
3
I'll be like, all right, here's test number 3.
Once to play with it, once just to rub it in our faces that you're using it, and then you'll never touch it again.
Please, I'm not that
Our
petty.
producer's getting it. He's like, I'm getting it.
Yeah, I mean it's a pretty phenomenal phone.
Yeah, let's just put it this way. This is gonna be my backup phone if Apple falls through with this special with their edition phone.
Oh,
That's what I'm doing. That's the gauntlet I'm throwing down, Apple.
Damn. All right. I'm glad we're recording this. Today, on this day, the 1st of June, David Feldman has said that he will give up the iPhone if they fail on their promises. It's unlocked. It's all carriers. According to Todd, not 100% supported by Verizon, which is a big...
Damn it, essential.
a big beef for me because I'm on Verizon.
Yeah, same
Now
here. Like,
that-
okay, well, just fuck off, David.
That could change.
We don't want you in our Android
Oh, I'm sure it
ecosystem. Fuck you.
Andy Rubin, the guy who co-founded Android, is fucking working on it. according to Todd, so.
Okay, you put LTE chip into phone. It goes click, boom.
No, it's
I
not
know.
that
I know
necessarily.
it's not that simple. I get it. I understand. I know.
Verizon likes to fucking fiddle with all their shit.
Yeah, because they don't
Hell
want
out
them
of
on
me.
their superior 1% network.
Well, the phone. Well, the phone may work on. I'm reading a quote that Todd just gave us. Well, the phone may work on Verizon. We can't promise the same experience and quality. The server says devices that have been tested and approved for use on our network. Fuck off, Verizon. Fuck off.
They'd probably just be like, yeah, this shit is too badass for us. So, yeah.
Apparently, they are working alongside with fully certified phone compatibility.
Basically, what it means is that Verizon's trying to put their bullshit bloatware.
Also,
on
Verizon's
it.
probably still trying to push pixels.
Yeah.
Probably, but I almost guarantee you it's because they don't want to. Because Essential's like, no, I don't want to pay you more, so I don't have to put your shitty bloatware on it, and that's what they're trying to do. I bet you that's what they're trying to do. I bet you Verizon's trying to hold out for that bloatware.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck them if so. I mean, when I had to activate my Nexus, for instance, on Verizon, they were kind of pissy about it. They were like, yeah, we technically support it, but we don't support it.
Yeah, because they don't have their bloatware on your shit.
Right. So
Mhm.
That's all it comes down to is that all their Android phones have all their shitty bloatware on. I have not seen a Verizon Android phone that comes from Verizon that doesn't have all that bloatware shit.
right.
That's the one main reason why I switched over to Apple was because I was so tired of that bloatware bullshit. I didn't
God
want to have to
forbid
sit
it's a
there and put
Samsung
ROMs
phone.
on my phone. What?
Like, God forbid it's a Samsung phone.
Oh, that'd be worse.
Because, you've got your
Michael.
Google apps and
Michael.
Samsung knockoffs of Google apps.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And then Verizon knockoffs of Samsung's knockoffs of Google's apps.
Yeah,
Did you
right?
know? Did you know like their new digital assistant Bixby is like still not working correctly?
That's not
For
surprising.
Samsung?
Oh, Samsung, you poor
It's
with a
like the
name like
dumbest
Bixby.
name for an assistant. Also, like
You
I don't want to
poor
call my
company.
sexy voice assistant Bigsby
Why does it always have to be sexy with you, man?
because that's the whole point of life.
Well, that's the whole point of life.
The whole point, the only entirety point of all
So
everything must be sexy.
So we really like this phone, right?
Yes.
Like it looks good. Is
I
there
mean,
anything? Is
based
there
off
anything
what
that
we've seen.
really like wows you about it though? That really fucking like stands out, and you're like,
to
holy
me,
shit!
I think it's the titanium that really threw me. the initial look of the screen, because I mean that just like these photographs to show off the screen, the edge to edge screen is just fucking gorgeous.
You know the one
Yeah.
thing that sold me on it so far is the lack of any kind of branding or logo on it.
Agreed.
Oh, the
Agreed.
minimalist approach. Yeah,
Something
Yes.
that even Apple hasn't been brave enough to do yet.
that's true.
Yep. In fact, if anything, there's mods out there for Apple that allow you to install LED backing on the back of the Apple logo, so it starts like shining through.
Yeah.
I'm not. So that's a very bold choice on that company's part because if anything, they need some sort of branding to sell it. And
I don't think so. I don't think you need branding. If anything, that's going to make the phone itself is a statement. And I think that a lot of people are going to be like, "What phone is that?" And they're going to try to sit there and try to figure out what phone it is. You don't see a logo. It's almost to the point where it's a conversation piece on its own right.
I suppose so.
I can kind of see that. I don't know that it happens quite as often as you allege, but I could
all
see
I
that
know
on
is
occasion.
if I saw that phone in the wild and I didn't know about it right now, I would go up to that random person and be like, "Hey, sorry to bug you, but what kind of phone is that? Because that is like a cool phone." And I've done that before, and I've asked
Oh, yeah.
people, and people would be like, "Oh hell yeah, check this out!" Blah blah
Let
blah
me
blah blah.
let me change David's filter because he's being modest. He walks up to the person. Oh hell yeah! What kind of motherfucking phone is that?
Man,
Sexy
what-
motherfucker.
I'm
Can I-
not
can-
that ghetto. What
can I
the
hold it?
hell?
Can I hold it? And then they
Can
they
I
go,
please
okay.
hold the phone?
They hand it to David, and David runs.
I'm just trying to figure out where all these MF bombs are coming from. I don't go. I just got around. Hey, motherfucker, let me see your phone.
Because I can just imagine you do it and be like,
What am I supposed to sit there and grab on my crotch while blood like random chains just come out of nowhere? Be like, "What's up, yo?"
I mean, dude, it's whatever. You know, you just had a modesty filter because I know you would.
Oh bullshit!
I know you wouldn't literally be walking up to a person and be like, "Hey man, that's kind of a cool phone. Can I please hold it for just a second?"
I would probably be a little bit more rambunctious than that. I would admit that. I'd be probably closer to like, "Damn, that's a badass phone. Can I take a look at that?" I mean, I would do that, but I would be going like, "Yo, motherfucker!" Like, where did that come from?
Oh, it brings a tear to my eye. It's great. It's
Courageous
great.
branding.
So
That's what Todd said.
the reason why I asked that is because I feel we're kind of in a slump right now with phones in general. There hasn't been anything that's really like every single conference that we have for like Samsung or Verizon or any major phone corporation. You're just like,
You
there's
know
a new
what?
phone coming out. and it's
I
got-
100% agree. Phones
yeah,
are
I mean,
bland.
there's not like, is there anything that you can foresee in like the next year
Well,
that you're just gonna be like, holy shit, that is amazing? Or like, have we run out of ideas? Because
you know what? Remember that? You know that Motorola commercial that came out like within the last year.
you talk
where
about
they
like
go-
the modular one with the
Right, and they talk
attachments
about,
and shit.
and obviously it's definitely keyed against Apple. Where like, oh yeah, they came out with the first smartphone, and then it's been the same thing the last 9 years. It has. I mean, there's really nothing more to say about any of these smartphones other than the fact that they have been very, very incremental upgrades each and every single time. I mean, long story short, it gets a little thinner. You get a little bit more battery life.
Right.
The screen gets a little bit more and more bigger
In
in
some
the same amount of
cases-
space.
In some cases, you start sacrificing features. I noticed there was a new Motorola phone, not the Moto Z. It's the Moto Z Play 2. They just announced it. I wouldn't say it's like their like super budget phone because you could still do the modular mods, like the additional camera lens and shit like that. But they actually reduced the battery size to like a 3500
Right.
milliamp.
Oh.
Yeah, and it's like a 5.2 inch screen. So
So
it's
you
like,
get 2 hours of battery life, and that's about it.
well, I mean, on my Nexus, I get about 7 hours basically.
Yeah, but how much battery life?
I think it's a 3200 milliamp. I could be
Really?
mistaken though. Yeah, it's not much. It's not
Really?
much at all.
But that's besides the point.
Oh,
You know,
3,000 milliamp for the Moto, the new one. So,
I don't think as phones are gonna progress and they get thinner and bigger screen, I'm not gonna see much of anything that's really gonna be like, oh my god, that's the most amazing. There's nothing gonna be really innovative for a while because at this point, phones have kind of reached their peak in terms of uh interaction with
I don't
humans.
think they've reached their peak. I think this is, of course, far shooting into the future because we don't have this quite yet. Even
I
on
mean, yeah, of course, things are going to get to the point where you have flexible, bendable screens, and you can wear
which we
your phone
have.
around your wrist now,
Or clear screens.
right? See if
I
you can,
don't like the clear screens thing. I don't like the clear
yeah, because
screens
if you
thing.
drop your phone, you're fucked.
No, it's not that so much. It's just it's cool in theory, but if you think about it, like from a UI perspective, you hold your phone up and then you're like, okay, I need to look at this text message. There's nothing behind like the text, like a black background or whatever. Then you're just literally going to be straining to see the text.
Well, I feel like they would still put white there when it's on, but I'm talking like you turn off the phone and the phone is, at least some portion of the phone is translucent.
I don't know why that would.
I have to agree with Jeff on this one. I think
It's
that's
not
a terrible idea.
It's not useful, but they're going to try
I
something
like
like that.
I like the look. I would like the look, but the problem with that is, again, you drop it. Oh crap!
Okay, well, what difference does that make between that and another phone?
Another phone right now has a metal back. You can see the metal back. There's a clear differential. If you have a clear piece of glass falling on top of something, it's a little harder to see, especially at night.
I was thinking more of holograms.
Mm-hmm.
Like holograms popping out of your phone and you being able to manipulate data that way. I think that would be
but then at that point there would be
Tony Stark style.
Yeah, but at the same time, okay. So what was Tony Stark's like? I remember the phone from Tony Stark's phone, Iron Man 2, where he's in the middle of the courtroom and he pops out this thing that literally flops out and folds out. Yeah. That's kind of cool. I would like that. I would like something that's a super small form factor that enlarges and gets bigger. I think that'd be really cool. That would be something that would be really innovative.
That's what I'm talking about. Like that, I obviously we haven't gotten there on a large scale, so there's no way we can get to a small scale just yet. But you have a lot of augmented reality experiences already. HoloLens, for instance, where you can see
is that still a thing?
Holograms. Yeah, HoloLens is still huge. Like that's.
No. The reason why I just haven't heard from anything about it in a while. That's why I'm asking.
The reason why is because it's still in development, so to speak. They still have development kits out, but it's mainly being used in high-end businesses. So like architectural firms that are like really upscale. People that are really going to benefit from it. Like you or I could buy one of these kits right now if we wanted to. But we're not really going to get a huge benefit out of it because it's not been consumerized yet. There's nothing that we would see a benefit from just yet, if that makes sense.
Right. And we spoke about that. I said that more than likely I see a much bigger military aspect to it just because you get more information from the soldier and it doesn't distract you from what's going on in combat.
Well,
you get that COD aspect going on there.
It's their kind of answer to VR, and I definitely see a huge application for a consumer market, but there's just nothing.
It's not super necessary yet. I think that's what's
it's not going to make them a whole lot of money yet because it's an expensive piece of tech.
Well, not only that, but they haven't even figured out the watch yet. So I mean, if we can't even figure out the watch.
You mean for Microsoft or
smartphones, smartwatches? That's what I'm saying. Like if we can't even get the
holograms or just like in general.
In general, you know what I mean. I'm just saying like HoloLens is great. It's a good idea but eventually it has a long way to go consumer wise. What I'm mentioning because consumers haven't been able to get the smartwatch down yet. I mean, we all got a bunch of smartwatches.
It's not that they aren't useful. It's just a lot of people don't see the need for them. A lot of people use them as fitness trackers, which is fine. But I mean, I stopped using my Moto 360 a long time ago
Why?
because the major reason why is because I have access to my notifications pretty much all the time. That's all it was really just a notification device for me to quickly look at text messages or messages on my phone, and it didn't really save me any time.
Right.
The fitness tracking was kind of abysmal. It didn't really track anything accurately, and the battery life was also kind of shitty. It's just those kind of
Yeah.
things that we're not going to really be able to overcome anytime soon. If we could have, we would have batteries in smartphones that would last us 5 or 6 days. It's just the technology, the biggest issue right now I foresee for any future device is going to be battery life, and it's just trying to get batteries smaller, packed with more energy, and we're gonna probably have to progress beyond lithium ion. I'm not
Well,
saying we've
Yeah.
tapped
mean,
out lithium ion. I still
Well,
think
what
it's a
I
relevant
understand,
energy.
But
batteries are
Samsung
being made
Galaxy
already
S7.
that out surpass lithium ion. The problem is under pressure, traveling on a plane is where they start having issues where chemical reactions start happening.
Well, I
You
mean,
have
any
a
battery,
small mini grenade like Samsung.
any
Uh,
battery will have that issue though. There's batteries that
right.
are more stable than others, but
Which is right now, it's really from what and I could be completely wrong, but from what I understood, what people have told me is that it's really coming down to travel and the pressurization aspect of air travel can cause batteries to explode, and it even does that with lithium ion to a certain extent, but it's a lot more stable at this point versus some of the other batteries that are out there that are being tested. Because I think they have this one battery that's a carbon based battery that like lasts for days and and outputs insane amounts of power, but it's not there yet.
Right. We've been perfecting lithium-ion batteries for decades now.
yeah, I
We're just
mean,
now starting to look for an alternative. I mean, not just now, but
and it's not just phones. It's the great energy crisis where we have to kind of figure out a solution that's going to scale up before it can scale down. And I'm talking in regards to fossil fuel replacements, because that's kind of a bigger thing than our smartphones and smartwatches and
right. But you're
technology.
talking about the source of said energy, not the storage of said energy.
Well, no, I'm
Because we
talking
do
about both
know,
though. No, I'm
because
talking
fossil
about
fuels are
both.
where the energy comes from.
Yes, but okay. When I'm talking about energy crisis, I'm talking about where the energy is derived from. I mean, the
Yes.
lithium-ion battery is still a source of energy, is it not?
No, it's a
No,
storage
it's a
of
storage
energy.
device for energy, because you get the energy from the wall, which comes from a power plant, which is burning some kind of fossil fuel or splitting atoms
Okay,
or spinning
that's
turbines.
that's cool, but then where does the energy go from there?
What do you mean?
What do you mean from where?
It
From the
goes from the
phone?
lithium-ion battery.
No, a battery. All a battery
It
is a
goes from the
storage of energy.
lithium. It goes from the lithium-ion battery into the electric motor.
Right,
Does
but
it
where
not?
does it? What?
Right, but
You have to recharge that battery.
Of
Therefore,
course
it is
you
not an
do.
energy source. It is a storage device.
You have to refill your fucking car engine, don't you? With gas.
yes, and that's a fossil
Yes,
fuel.
and and the gas tank
The
is a storage
gas-
device for the gas. The gas,
The gas
is the
is the
source
fuel.
of energy.
The gas tank, which you are refilling, is the
Why
is
are we
the
making
storage.
this argument? Why is this such a
Because
big
you're
deal?
wrong, Jeff.
Because you're
Okay, I'm
comparing
wrong. Jesus, let's move on. Fuck.
Oh, I see how it is. You guys give me shit for 25 minutes about how wrong I am, but the instant Jeff says something wrong,
Jeff doesn't
well,
like the
fuck you
2-on-1.
guys. Let's move
No,
on.
it's not that so much. It's just I don't see where we're going with this. It doesn't add anything good to the conversation. So
Well, right, but
that's
what we're saying is that that's two completely different searches. You could still fill a new form of battery with fossil fuel energy.
okay. I apologize. I wasn't make that's not the point I was trying to make. The point I was
Mhm.
trying to make is that you're gonna have to replace a the fossil fuel as your energy producer, if you will, with something that's going to be more economical, like a hydrogen battery or something of that nature. You have to scale up and then you scale down.
So what
the
you're
only way
saying
it's
is
gonna
you
work.
want something that you physically creates energy in your phone?
No, I want a different medium of. Man, I don't
Actually,
know.
that's actually kind of cool.
It
Imagine
would
having
be
a small
cool.
nuclear reactor inside your phone.
Okay.
This is
I
some
want a
Fallout
nuclear reactor
bullshit,
inside
but
my phone. I
Okay.
do. That'd be awesome. The only
No, you
problem
don't.
is my junk would get radiated. How do we fix that? How do I not have radioactive balls?
So you're saying your phone is now an effective form of birth control too?
Hey,
Oh my God.
hell yeah,
Jesus.
Michael!
We could be millionaires.
Wait.
Millennials
This-
would love us.
Jesus.
Anywho, we will move on because now we've really exasperated Jeff.
I have no words.
So, Jeffrey, how do you feel about books?
Oh my God. Worst segue in human history just now.
No, I wasn't looking for a segue.
Oh my God.
We can't go from irradiated junk
Junk.
to books.
Yeah,
Come on.
once we start talking about David's junk, that's why I just like, all right, we've gone down the deep end.
We really have.
Welcome to Late Night Gadget Inspectors, where it's not really late night, but we talk about mature things.
But it's past Jeff's bedtime.
Not past my bedtime. It's
totally
not 10 o'clock yet.
bedtime.
It's not 10 o'clock.
What are you talking about? You go to bed at 8.
Okay.
Old Man River.
Old Man River.
Books, Jeff. What are your
Books.
thoughts on books?
Books are the greatest thing on the planet. I mean, I'm not going to go into a bookworm rant here.
Please don't.
So-
I mean, we all know you worked at Books A Million. Yeah.
Yeah, so did Michael. What's your
Yep.
point?
I did.
He was the
It was the book nerd.
Oh, he was the warehouse guy. He made sure everything got output correctly.
Aw.
So books, big, piece of technology that we've had for several years. However,
Several years.
You mean like
years?
yeah,
Am I
gener-
wong? Oh my God, we're not going down this.
Oh, we were
road
just
again.
saying centuries. I mean, yes, it's a form of year.
Several
But
years.
you're like okay, within the last 10 days or 10 years.
Several
No, this
years
shit's been around since the
is-
humankind has been
Understatement of the day.
Jesus, I need a fourth person here to moderate this shit. You're ganging up on the main voice of reason sometimes.
No, I think I'll be on
guys.
your side with this, Jeff. Go continue.
Okay, all right. I'm a voice of calm and reason.
No, you're not.
No, I'm not. All right. So, several years these books have been here. Now I'm talking like Yoda. So yeah, obviously we're starting to see a decrease in books in physical mediums, and unfortunately, this is the thing. As technology gets better and better, as we've had e-readers that have come out, cell phones, smartphones, laptops, the digital mediums of books have just grown exponentially. You can get it cheaper, generally speaking. You can get it quicker. There's a lot of pros and cons though here, because I don't know, like, who owns a bookshelf in their home. First off, I know
I
Michael
do.
does.
I own several.
Okay, so any recent additions though? Like, have you recently gone to a bookstore or gotten
Yeah.
your book online, online?
I
and
literally
thrown
just
in-
bought a
okay.
book, or just bought a couple books this last weekend.
So what drove you to purchase those books though? Like, what was the specific reasoning?
Well, I was in a half price book selling off some old stuff, and they make you wait so you can browse and buy stuff
Yeah.
and spend most, if not all, of the money that you get from selling 20 books on the 2 or 3 books you find.
Which they give you such a small amount of money for that stuff. Just a small,
Right, but if they never sell it, then that's
No,
how they.
no,
Then they become just like a book.
a book.
I've
has
yet to
become
be.
a book.
I've yet to be in a half price where they're managing all the books that come in well. They pile up and they only get worse.
They really do.
No, that's true. But like, okay, if you excuse me, you bought some books what drove you to actually say, hey, I'm going to spend some money on these physical books, they're going to go on my bookshelf when I get home?
Because he
Like,
doesn't have
why?
to move again for a while. That's why he bought
There
the
is
books.
that, but no, it's finding books by authors that I like, and they have to be high quality, in good shape, and I prefer to get like the better looking covers or looks for the books, hardcover if I can find it, but I don't want to
Okay.
pay an arm and a leg for it.
So basically, you're saying it's more of an aesthetic thing for you to have a book.
No, I do read the books. I do enjoy the books, but I also look for something that is sit on a shit. I mean, it can also look good at the same time.
So it's kind of, practical as well as aesthetic.
Well, it's like why David gets iPhones. He likes the way
Oh.
they work as well as he likes the way they look.
Wow, that was so eloquent. It was beautiful, Michael. It's good.
It was. I have a slight tear in my eye.
Yeah, just a small tear. So that's kind of like the thing for me too. I really enjoy physical books. I have a shit ton of not quite coffee table size books, but a lot of books for like behind the scenes for movies like Industrial Light and Magic, their whole history. I have like a giant thick book of all that kind of stuff. And it's really cool just to kind of leaf through it, every once in a while and see kind of something that you missed. But there is something to be said about having a whole library of books in the palm of your hand. Has anyone like actually owned an e-reader in this group?
I have one.
You have the Nook?
Who are you talking to?
You.
I have the Paperwhite, one of the old Paperwhite Nooks. Haven't used it in ages. But
Yeah. Mine's tucked away too. I have a Nook as well. That's tucked away. David, you said you had one?
Yes, Kindle.
Kindle. And Todd says that he had a cheap one he got on Amazon.
that would be a Kindle.
Yeah.
No. There are other e-readers out there that use like EPUB and stuff like
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where I think technology is all about convenience in this regard, because if you're going on a long flight or a long trip, when I was a kid, I would actually go to the library every summer before we would take a trip, and I would go to get to the library and just get like a giant stack of books, probably like 10 books, and I would actually sit there and devour it through our summer trip. But that was like in my backpack, a huge stack of books. And it wasn't like they weren't all like novels. I was a kid. I liked reading comic books. I liked reading.
Yeah, you'd have a nice mix.
Yeah, it wasn't all just like.
But you would have that one or two chapter books that would actually eat up your time.
Right. It wasn't War and Peace. Okay. It wasn't.
I would
Tolstoy.
hope you weren't reading War and
I
Peace.
read War and Peace when I was 13, and it was the most boring shit ever. I do
it
not
was a
recommend
boring book.
I do not recommend the book. Count of Monte Cristo.
The Art of War from Sun
Tzu.
Yes, thank you.
I enjoyed the
It was a
Count of
more
Monte Cristo.
interesting read than War and Peace.
God, is this going to turn into a book podcast? We could do that.
No.
No, I don't
No,
think
the
I could do a
okay,
book podcast.
look, so for me, my e-reader book thing that I do is a completely different aspect altogether for me. Obviously, Jeff, you prefer books over e-readers unless it's you're traveling or something.
No, well, yeah. So if I'm traveling, I prefer to have a Kindle or what have you. But in more recent years, I've actually loaded a whole bunch of books on my phone. And it's just
because your phone can handle it now,
right? And it's
it has
just
plenty of
like
room.
if the best thing is like if I'm at work and I'm on break at lunch, I could just crack open my phone and just start reading there, and it's great. And I don't have to worry about you lugging a book around, which is fine. And that's the reason why I understand both ends of the spectrum, and I kind of fear
what you're saying is that your phone is with you at all times anyway,
right?
And you have to plan ahead for the book.
To take a book with you.
See, for me, my books never leave my house. Like
that's depressing.
Sorry. It's just, I mean, for me, like the books I get, they're purely uh they're for reading, like maybe once or twice. And then I don't want to touch them again because I don't want them to get bent or damaged or ruined. A lot of my books that I buy are purely either for aesthetic reasons or for conversation pieces. Like Steve Jobs' biography, for example. I refuse to get it in an e-reader format until I got it in book. And I
Yeah,
read the book.
I read that on my iPad.
See, and I couldn't read it on my iPad. And the reason why I did that, and the reason why I was so adamant about that was because, and it's not like I didn't have the edition. I bought the e-reader edition before I ever bought the book. And the reason why I wanted it on in book because there's something really important about a tactile experience that you can get from a book that you just can't get from an e-reader. And for me personally, if I'm wanting to absorb information better and more accurately, I like it on paper. I like to read it on paper because to me it feels more real. I have more of a deeper connection and I absorb that information better. If I'm reading it on my phone or, anything else like that, to me it's just a quick glance, read through it really fast, get kind of like the basic information and forget it when I'm done with it. I don't really hold on to that information as more necessary. I don't hold on to that information as much as
You
I
just
would
don't
say
retain
a
it.
tactile book. Huh?
You don't retain it. That's understandable.
Right. And the only reason why, and I have plenty of books on my e-reader. In fact, I have books that I have in hard copy that I read on my e-reader just to pass time, but I don't really have the same level of attention or need to look at it and read through the whole book like I do with the actual book. If that makes any sense. Like
No, it
I'll
does.
read maybe one or two chapters on my e-reader, but if I'm sitting there with a real book, I want to go through that whole thing almost in one sitting most of the time because there's something about that experience that you just don't get. You're not as attached to it.
See,
Yeah.
I fear that kids these days, kids are not going to experience that same thing. In the future, maybe our kids, for instance,
Well, see, I
won't
agree
enjoy
with
that.
you, but at the same time, I think they're going to have more of a negative experience with books, and the reason why I say that is because the whole textbook thing. For me, textbooks are like associated with school, which is associated with boredom, which is associated with monotonous bullshit.
Yeah.
And to me, I think that's
But
what's
you
going to
also
happen
had
with our
regular
next.
books to offset that.
Right, and I'm not debating that. What I'm saying is, as more and more books are published in less and less, and more copies are going to e-readers. Eventually, as much as I hate to say this, I can foresee a future where eventually paperbacks are just gone. Uh, and our paper books are gone because resources or because there's just not in any type of real desire to have it anymore except for the people that are super elite or those very very few collectors where they'll maybe release 100 copies or something like that.
One hole that I'll poke in that theory:
Hmm.
books are made of an entirely renewable material.
And
Devices are made out of
Correct.
materials that are not renewable.
True, but
Yeah.
you can store thousands upon thousands of books on one
Correct.
device.
But you can always grow
the
more trees.
Right, but the carbon footprint is much less in that regard.
Right. That is, and you can right. You're right. You can grow more trees, but are we going to use that, those trees for butt wiping paper or for reading? I think we're going to put butt wiping paper as a priority. As much as I hate saying that, but regardless, that's many many years in the future. I hope that doesn't come to pass. I really don't.
Oh God! I just had a really weird image pop up in my mind.
Oh
I was just
gosh.
thinking, I was like, if we were to get rid of toilet paper, how would that work? And all I could think of was ass robots. Robots that'll clean your ass for you.
Or, just
I was thinking the three
a worldwide
seashells,
spread
but-
of the bidet.
Oh Lord. Oh God.
A what?
A
The bidet?
Oh my God! Wow.
You know what a bidet is, Jeffrey?
You know what? I'm gonna be the first one to admit I don't. I don't know
Really?
what that is.
Shall you
It's
or
a
shall
water
I?
fountain for your butthole.
Oh.
And it's in the toilet.
That's gross.
It's what Europeans use. If you ever travel overseas,
I'm surprised you haven't
go to
encountered
Europe.
one, Jeffrey, because they're really
No.
popular in France.
No, nowhere in France did I see that. Wait, hold on.
That's bullshit.
Did you
because
get
they
a
don't-
little squirt?
No, I do. Okay, I do recall that there was like
a
Multiple
smaller,
handles?
lightly less
no,
holy toilet?
no. There was 2 switches on the top of the toilet.
Yeah.
But to be fair, I made the assumption because we have those here too. It's one is for larger flush, one is for smaller flush. It's the
That
water.
could be the case on that specific toilet.
It could
I
have been,
don't
yeah.
I don't know if that was I never used that.
The reason why they use bidets over there is because their older sewer systems aren't able to handle the inflow of toilet paper.
Correct.
No, that makes sense.
Anyways,
I mean,
but okay, so bidets and robot butt wiping aside.
ass robot, get it right.
Sorry, ass robot wiping aside.
Hello, master. What can I do for you today?
And this is how the robot uprising starts. Because you want
Because they
ass
have the
wiping
Come
shitty
here.
robots.
Come here, ass robot. Service me.
God.
And on that note,
Yeah, I think we're done with this conversation.
I think we've reached the end of our tether here. Wow. I'm the one that crashed the podcast tonight. I apologize. You know what? We're gonna end it there because I don't know where we could go. We can't go up from there. So
Well, we can't go down.
we definitely
Yeah,
can't go
no.
down.
We could probably go down.
Let's just flush this
Just
out.
give Jeff a beer and we'll figure it out.
Let's
Just
just
flush
wipe it
this
away.
out and start fresh.
Oh, the
Yeah.
puds.
Let's just wipe it all away. All right. Thank you guys.
What have I done?
Thank you guys so much for listening to our depravity for the night. It's always a pleasure to have you with us. If you're not, again, already a subscriber, you can find us on our website at rantymedia.com. Hover over Listen Now. You can find Gadget Inspectors as well as our other fine podcasts, Press Start Gaming and Real Reporters. Again, if you have any suggestions for Gadget Inspectors or any of our shows, please email our producer, Todd at rantymedia.com. We're always delighted to hear suggestions, things that we can improve on because, best value for our customers, which is you. So, yeah, I think that pretty much wraps up. From everyone here at Gadget Inspectors, have a great night. Take it easy.
User in your channel.